All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. So I decided to just do a quick live stream here for you guys for the RLZ Trading Room community. We want to do some updates on the current market. We have some alerts to check out. So I'm gonna get right to it, and yeah, you know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. Just do it. But never mind that. Let's just go right into the charts and let's trade. So we have some interesting alerts right here coming out of the RLZ slingshot indicator, which it's confirmed that it's going to get released on the April the 1st. It's man, look at that. Fuck. That's not the type of signal I wanted to see. So if we go to the market update channel here, you'll see that earlier today, a couple of hours ago, I posted a lot of possible setups here, and all the setups I had was, we had that white line, white arrow on the chart, and that's also the number one list. So I think we can go through this list. We have a couple of ones right here. So let's take a look at first. We have 80 CAD. So obviously we had, I believe, CAD news today. What type of news? Was it anything important? It was the Bank of Canada interest rate decision. So yeah, obviously important. And then right after that, we had Fed Chair Powell testimony. Right, so two big events at 1600. That was a couple of hours ago. I tried to do some math, and my brain just stopped working there for a second. So I just immediately switched subject. So yeah, we have a density. Basically, what I wanted to see here, so we do have a good level here. I mean, this is a pretty nice level. I do like this horizontal level. Price come up right here, came up, and also I'm going to be adding that banner to the bottom to kind of shield the indicator. Click the link in the description, and you're going to get rich. You got to sign up for the newsletter first, though, so please do that. Anyway, it's a really good level here. And we can extend it to the left, and we'll see that it's a really good horizontal support and resistance level. Historically been good. It's a very good looking breaker retest, this one. I would have wished, though, that we saw... I mean, what would have been perfect here, though, is... I want to be honest with you guys here for a second. Like, everything I do with RLZ Trading, like everything I do here on the YouTube channel and like TikTok and Twitter, like I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to, provide something here that I have a very clear vision of what I want to do with RLZ Trading. I have the the trading room and the trading program. So basically, I have three different things I'm working on and three different products. Which what I want to do is I want to be able to provide a package. So first, for the program students, you'll get everything, a roadmap, and it's a pretty good program for somebody who has a entry level basic knowledge of TA and then want to take your training to the next level and hopefully get funded and actually start trading full time. But then if you don't want to fully commit to the program, I would like to be able to provide a package of trading room and the indicator. And the idea was always to provide something that... So I wanted to create a company that is running like independently on its own, and the revenue from the products would it would be possible to keep the company alive and then reinvest that revenue into new products and new quality tools for traders. Because like RLZ Trading, it has never been about me making a lot of money and getting rich out of off you guys. It's about creating tools to make me rich from trading. That's the whole thing. Like the indicator, the trading room, and the trading program. It's not only for you guys. It's actually making me a better trader to be able to teach you guys the stuff that I'm doing. When you're explaining something to somebody, you at the same time you become quite good at what you're doing. If you have a system and you're teaching that system to somebody else, if you're good at teaching that system, it means that you know the system. And creating tools to make me a better trader, the idea is then to have you guys use the same tools, trade the same system like a group, and make money from trading. So I'm envisioning like a pricing model where the company can be self-sufficient and survive without making it too cheap, for two reasons. I don't want to make it too cheap, because then the company wouldn't be able to survive, because taxes are pretty wild when having a company. And also we want to have quality people, right? As you can see in the, like, if you're a member of the trading room right now, we have a really good group of people, really good group of people. And I want to make sure that I shut everything down when we're at a level where I think it's all good. So if we have, let's say, 100 members in the trading room, and we have a fantastic group of traders trading together, and we have a very good positive spirit inside the group, I would be okay with just closing down, like not accepting one single more member. And the idea is for every trading room member to be able to also afford getting the indicator, and everything's going to be limited to a certain amount of people, because I want to make sure that everyone that's actually members of the community and using the RLZ slingshot indicator or going through the program is, I want to see, I want to see success. I want to see you guys, like, not one or two of you get funded. Like I want everyone to get funded. I want an army of funded traders, right? That's my plan. I want to help everyone get funded. I want to help everyone, either quit their day-to-day job or go down to like working 50% or something like that. That's my plan with this whole community. So you're not going to see me just, shouting out my message and trying to get as many people as possible in here, or trying to get as many people as possible on the live stream and chilling the product in a way like that. And I hope I understand why. I hope you understand why I'm doing this. And I want to say thank you to everyone, because you, the member of the trading room, has not only, like, I'm getting a lot of positive feedbacks, and I'm seeing that you guys are really improving your trading, but you've also helped me improve my trading, and you're giving me a lot of good feedback and stuff like that. So this is, for me, it's a win-win. So yeah, I definitely want to say thank you to everyone who's been supporting me throughout the years. And this guy has been with me for, he was in the business for half a year. And yeah, man, that's crazy. I mean, comments like this, you're going to make me cry, you're going to make me religious. Yeah, thank you for that. Anyway, so trading. Now, I want you to... I want you to listen to what I'm saying here, because everything I say in these live streams, I'm trying to choose my words correctly when I'm serious. You're going to see me be not very serious in a lot of live streams as well. But when I'm serious, I'm really going to choose my words correctly, because I want to make sure that every word I'm saying during these educational live streams are stuff that you can take with you on your trading journey. So one example of that is how, when I'm looking at a chart here, and I'm looking at, for example, this one, which is AUD NCD, the first thing I see is it's almost like everything else disappears except price action. So when I'm looking, the first few seconds when I'm looking at a chart, and this is because I've focused a lot on market structure and horizontal levels before I even started trading, like putting indicators on the chart. So when I started trading, I was a 100% price action trader. So I didn't have any indicators on. So what I see is this. This is what I see in the first few seconds of watching the chart. So I really try my best at ignoring the indicators. And TradingView has a really good uh, function here where you can press this I here, and then you can select hide the indicators or hide the drawings, which is pretty nice to play around with. What I like to do is I like to press this hide all from time to time to put market structure at the very center of things. That's very, very important. As the program students know, the very first webinar is about market structure and horizontal levels, and that's actually a theme that goes through the whole program, and I will never stop shouting about market structure. So that's the first thing I want to do. I want to bring price action. I kind of want to bring price action out of the screen, put it at the center, and just watch like what's the behavior of this trend? What's the trend telling us? And there's a few things right off the bat we can say here, and that is that this is an uptrend, and this is where that uptrend is breaking, and we now have a downtrend. So our mission here as traders is to identify the trend and then ask ourselves, how can we participate in this trade while managing our risk along the way? And we want to see like what's the behavior of this trend, and we see a rejection here. We have a rejection here, which is a beautiful rounded top, like that's a rounded price action, which is the best types of rejections, right? Very easy to spot, very easy to get in on a trade. And then we look at the like what's the behavior of this down move versus this down move, and what's this rejection telling us, and how is this any different, right? And that type of analysis is going to help you understand if there's a change in behavior. Is there a behavioral change of this trend? And if you see a clear behavior change, you might say that there's a possible break in market structure coming, and you got to be careful. So that's what I do first. And now that I've done this before, I'm adding the indicators. When I had the indicators on, I'm saying, if price goes up here and tests the reload zone, we're going to look for a trade, right? But we have to kind of remember that if price goes above this level, right, this zone right here, if price comes above that level, it's going to be a change in behavior. Why? Well, because that's the rejection. If you look at this rejection, there hasn't been any clear rejection or pauses in this move until we hit that level right there. Now, of course, price comes up and hits a perfect resistance area right here. This is a very nice looking break and retest. It breaks the level here, comes up for a round retest right here. And we, according to our system, the RLZ method, we want to see, and this is also what needs to happen for the slingshot indicator to give us a signal, we need to hit that reload zone or the 50 before even considering taking a trade, and the stochastics RSI needs to be closer to 70. So we need price to come up higher. But if we have a multiple 4-hour candles closing up here, we got to be careful, because that is a possible break in market structure, at least a change in behavior, and we're now above this resistance area again, so we might reclaim it as support. So what I'm looking for is it needs to happen on this candle or the next candle, and it needs to be like a wick, maybe one candle close above here, and then it needs to be some sort of aggressive bullish and bearish engulfing candle or something like that below the 50 that really shows us that this is just a minor rejection, and this rejection higher is much more obvious than that one, and then stochastic RSI would be higher as well. Now that might prompt me to take a trade. That's probably not going to happen though. What's going to happen is probably going to come down here. That seems the most reasonable thing for price to do after this beautiful break and retest. So why am I not going short right here? Well, because I've never really, well, I have tested the idea of entering here. You can also add more fibs and you'll see that it's in a rejection around the 0.382, but I never really used that fib anymore. So if I were to short here, I would be trading another system that I have not tested. I don't know the win rate of that one. I don't know the profitability of that one, or anything like that. So even though I think that the probability of price moving lower is higher than to the upside, that's just something I know from from the years of experience watching price action, but I have no idea about that approach over the course of hundreds of trades. So it's no use for me to take a trade based on this. So what I'm saying here is most likely AUD NCD is not going to be a trade. Now, to most people, most new beginner traders, they're going to look at this and they're going to spend probably the same amount of time that I've spent talking about this to find reasons to take this trade anyway. Well, you have to identify that as soon as you start doubting a setup, as soon as you feel like, it's not, as soon as you start thinking that your approach is not effortless, your approach is not consistent with being in a balanced state of mind and in a flow state of mind, you just have to go to the next chart. Your goal as a trader is to understand what the perfect setup looks like to your system, and then just look for that setup and nothing else. Just look for the perfect setup that applies with the rules of your system, and you look for that setup. Anything else, you don't think about it, you just move on. And if you're going to think about that, you have to test it. So if you have something like this and you're like, oh, I want to take this trade, well, guess what? You got to spend weeks testing that idea before you can start taking that trade. The trading is not easy, right? So first you have to develop a system, and then you're going to stick with that system no matter what. And if you even think for a minute that you can trade anything else than the system that you've tested, you go back to the drawing board, and you have to develop a new style and a new approach to that system. Everything I talked about here today in these 20 minutes, everything I talked about in regards to this specific setup right here on AUD NCD, all of that took me probably 10 seconds to realize. The first thing I did when I opened up the chart was identifying all of these things that I've just talked about. Now, the reason why it takes me 10 seconds to think about it and 20 minutes to describe it is I can't really describe it in any other way than it's intuitive. Okay? I've been doing this for 6 years. I know exactly what I'm supposed to look for, and my brain knows what I'm looking for before I can even articulate what that is. And that's where the intuitive side of trading comes in. You got to trust your instincts. If you've been trading for years and you've been following a specific system, you know when it's the right time to take a trade or not, and you're going to feel if it's the right time or not. That should be your goal as a trader, to be able to enter that intuitive stage of trading, which can take years. For me, it took many years. But if you understand this from the beginning, which I didn't, you have a much higher probability of being able to get to that final stage of trading much quicker than I did. But the first thing you have to do, and this is not something negotiable, you're going to develop that system. All right. So that's what I want you guys to do. If you don't have a system right now, close down this live stream, open up a new tab, and Google how to develop a trading system and get to work. So if you have a system, let's take a look at another pairs here. All right, so AD NCD, probably not a trade. GBP AD, that's not a trade. It's a beautiful long signal. I mean, it's a really beautiful long signal. It was actually a I believe it was actually a strong signal. If you look at GBP AUD here, yeah, that's actually uh, a strong signal, I believe. But the reason why this was a strong signal was because it hit the 50. But even the strong signals doesn't have to be actionable every time. The idea is I'm I'm a little bit more, I want to get more signals, and then the idea is to double check that everything's looking good. So I want to get slightly more signals. So yeah, that's a long signal, but obviously we want the price to come down lower because the risk to reward on this one. I mean, maybe we could have entered here, but then again, we have to have stop loss at least below the weekly open, and yeah, obviously there's not going to be a good risk to reward. So this trade is probably, uh, yeah. I mean, pin bars. I mean, pin bars can be a beautiful. Like I very rarely use them. In my trading, and you probably know because you you know a lot about my trading style, um, impressively a lot actually, from following me. Anyway, so imagine if we have that pin bar candle going down here, and then a candle open here, and then a candle close here. I mean that's beautiful. That's just beautiful. So yeah, this is not a trade. 80 CAD hit that 4-hour 20 EMA. Now this might be a trade. Okay, this might be. I'm liking this. I'm not sure where the support and resistance area should be on this one. Maybe here. I think yeah, that kind of makes sense. So yeah, this might be a trade. Unfortunately, I will probably not be able to trade this today. We have maybe 3 hours. I'm going to try to do some math here again, which I am so good at. 3 hours, so 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I might actually wake up for this to give us a nice rounded rejection. So this might be a trade tomorrow morning. We get AUD CHF is, well, here's a very clear, I guess it's not a change in behavior, but if price goes below these lows right here, we obviously, we've invalidated this fib and we need to draw a new fib. And then if you look at this move, it seems that this top right here doesn't really seem to be part of this move. So you can go into the 1 hour and in the 1 hour we will probably see this as a possible bullish break in market structure. And all right, so it's not really a bullish break in market structure, but you can see how this is a very aggressive move to the downside, and this is just something completely different. So you can view this as a downtrend and then a local uptrend right here. So this might actually invalidate, unless price goes up straight up from this level up here, this small move might actually invalidate this whole trade here. But I have the alerts up here to see what we can expect. USD JPY. Now, we did have a really good long signal on USD JPY here right before the that pump right there. I believe that's not a long signal because of the stochastics. It's not going to be a trade. Could have been traded on the 1 hour though, but I don't think so. So yeah, that's not a trade either. But it did come down and test the right level. It did hit that 0.618. So when trading my system, especially when swing trading my system, you're going to miss out on a lot of setups, because what I do is I wait for confirmation before entering a trade. And I've heard a lot of people say like it's the worst thing you can do is wait for confirmation because then you miss out on the best entry. Well, no shit, right? But the reason why I have fairly high win rate and pretty high average R. We can look at the journal, and you'll see that win rate is 59% and the profit factor is 2.4, which is pretty good. And the reason I have those statistics is because I do wait for confirmation. If I didn't wait for confirmation, I would have much lower win rate, obviously, because price would hit that entry and then hit the stop loss. What I do is I wait for confirmation by actually having a rounded bottom or some nice confirmation candles inside the reload zone before entering a trade. So NCD/USD doing the same thing as I believe, which one was it? AUD/CHF. You see AUD/CHF and NCD/USD, same behavior down here at the lows. Would have wanted to see a higher pullback. That would have been just perfect. And Euro/AD is doing the same thing. So it seems like the market is reversing, probably because of the Powell speech. Maybe it has something to do with the Canadian news as well, but probably has more to do with the Powell speech, which was actually, you see that this candle right here closed 1 hour before the speech. So I'm pretty sure it has something to do with that. And same thing right here. This local top happened during that speech as well. So prices are hovering around the same level as when I did the first market scan and added these lines here. Now we have NCD CAD, and this is definitely looking very interesting. What I don't like about NCD CAD is the messy, the overall messy market structure right here. So if we use the replay tool and go back here, you look at this trend, that it looks really good. It's a very obvious downtrend. Yes, it's a little bit messy, but it's still fairly clean highs and lows. And then if you remove the replay tool, you're going to see the most recent price action. And the most recent price action is not part of that trend. So you definitely have a change in behavior. What I do like about this, though, is the local trend, which you can look at the local trend as a high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and low, low, low. So it's a local downtrend. I don't like the EMAs, though. I mean, I like that price is at least above the daily moving averages, but the 4-hour moving averages, they have been crossing a little bit too much right here. But on the 4-hour, we're in a good area. Stochastics RSI is acceptable. What we could do in this scenario is go into the 1 hour. And on the 1 hour, we want to see a break of this trend. And because of the fact that price action is not very clear on the 1 hour, we can go even lower. We can look at the 15-minute. Now, this is not something I usually do. And it's usually a sign of me trying to force an idea here when I'm trying to like go into the lower time frames and add trend lines that makes no sense and stuff like that. But there's definitely a there's a meaning to this, right? And I do this more when I'm scanning the market and looking for setups without being live, because when I'm live, I want to try to keep it to the 4-hour and show you guys what should be the best trading behavior. But if you look at the 15-minute, and this is the concept again of price action being fractal. So the video I posted I think last week, and I talk a lot about how price action is fractal, which means that the stuff that goes on the higher time frames will also be visible on the lower time frames, and any break in market structure on the 4-hour will always be visible on the lower time frames before the 4-hour. I mean, that's obvious. Anything on one time frame will always be visible before it happens on the lower time frame. So if you look at the we look at the 4-hour here. Now this is a very clear rejection of that level. You can very clearly see here that there's a horizontal level going here, and that is a very clear rejection of that level. We can remove the indicators. So that's a very clear rejection of that level. And if you go into the 1 hour, what I'm trying to say is you can't trade this on the 4-hour. It would have been very hard to catch this on the 4-hour. If you go into the 1 hour, you have more price data, and you have more price data around this area that could help you with a decision. But still, on the 1 hour, very hard to get an entry on this based on the rejection. Now you'll see on the 15-minute that, so back to the 4 hour quickly. This is just one move, one move, one move, one move. This is a trend. This is not a trend, but a move on the 4 hour will be a trend on the lower time frames. So if you go in, for example, on the 15-minute, you'll see that every up move on the 4 hour is actually an uptrend on the 15-minute, which means that every rejection of the 4 hour will be a break in market structure on the 15-minute. So if you have a downtrend like this one right here, and you're looking to short at the level and you're looking for rejection, you might want to look for that rejection on the 15-minute again. And let me use the replay tool here to kind of get an idea of what we're looking for. So first of all, I want to give you the idea of what the what the perfect market structure looks like. And this is usually something you'll see, and it's really easy to trade this. So you have an uptrend. At the end of this uptrend, you have most likely a range. This could be double tops and double bottoms, or multiple highs and multiple lows, but you have a range usually. Now, what happens is at the when you have a clear rejection on the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the 15-minute or low time frames will usually look something like this, and then the downtrend starts. So you want to enter here, right? You've done your analysis on the daily, the 4 hour, and you have a really good level, and that's this level on the 4 hour. But then you look at the 4 hour, and it's just a wick, and you can't get in on that, and the candle is just too big, and the 4 hour candle is going to close down here, so you can't get in on this. But what you can get in on is the break below this range, and more exactly, or specifically, this level right here. Now that's a good entry. So a normal break and retest on the lower time frames. So stops above here, entry here, and that gives you a really good scalp entry on a swing trading position. Now this, I don't recommend you guys start trading like this. I recommend you guys do actually stick to the 4 hour and wait for confirmation on the 4 hour. But it's really interesting to experiment with this. And when you're developing your system, keep this in mind. The idea of market structure being fractal is something that will help you with any system you're trading. So now we have that knowledge. Now let's look at the actual trade, actual price action. So what do you have here on NCD CAD? Well, we have the uptrend. We have a low, a high, lower, low. Let's just say that this is small moves. So we have a higher high, lower, high, low. And then now we enter some sort of range, and we're probably going to be ranging here, right? Now, we're going to view this as the range low. If you go back to the 4 hour, you'll see that this is also where you have that rejection of the 4 hour. This is the level you want to short on the 4 hour, and we want to wait for that bearish break in market structure on the 15-minute. Then we're going to get in on a break and retest of this level, which is the range lows. So wait for breakdown. Not quite there. Let's see. See if we have a proper breakdown. So that's obviously a pretty clean breakdown. And if you remember the market structure picture that I showed you, you want to see like uptrend and then range, break below range low, enter on a retest of the range lows with stops above the range. So this it will look something like this on this trade. So you want to enter on somewhere here. Now, remember that this is a scalp entry on a swing trade. So this will actually be our profit targets, like huge, as a 9.3 trade. And we're going to keep like, if this is going to be our TP1 right here, it's going to be 4.5 or 5R down to TP1. So we can definitely have a higher stop loss. We can probably put it at 2.5 at TP1. And the average R of this trade would be 4.7, which is very high. Now, if you're watching this and you're a program student member, like I don't want you guys to get any crazy ideas and just apply this to your trading right away. Like the program is set up in a very specific way. You should follow a structure. And this is much, much later in the webinar. We're going to be talking about this in maybe 6 weeks or something like that. So this is much later. So maybe not start trading like this right away. But this is how it looks, right? And let's see how this looks on the 15-minute. We're probably going to get filled on the next candle. Oh, wow. You see it almost hit that entry. You see that? It almost hit that entry. So if you're going to be like doing this perfect, you'll see that that's actually the lowest point of that range low. So if you put it to that one, you would have been filled there. Still very good risk to reward. Now, if you look at the 4-hour, and looking at the 50-minute, this is a clear uptrend range and a downtrend. So this is actually a quite clear picture of that market structure. And then on the 4-hour, it looks like this. And it would be pretty much untradable on the 4-hour, because on the 4-hour it's just one massive bearish candle, but it did hit that TP1, and that TP1 would be like 2R. So if you're scalping this, you can get a really good entry, and like most trades hit TP1. So if you have a good win rate when scalping this and when getting these scalp entries, you can so it's a combination of swing trading and scalping, and you can exit fully at TP1. Now let's look at the current price to see if we see anything similar. Now look at the 4-hour. It's still a pretty good trend, and it's a good level on the 4-hour. Looks good on the 1-hour, and then on the 15-minute, you don't really have a break in market structure because you have that low, higher low, higher low. You have the high and higher high. So what do you want to see? Like, you probably need to see something like this to really have an obvious break in market structure, because we haven't really entered that range. So we might see something like this on the 15-minute. And then on that breakdown, you want to do the same thing. That might be a little bit more compressed. And then when you have that breakdown, you put in orders like this, and then the risk to reward down to TP1, or these lows would be 2. Again, usually when swing trading, it's going to be like with the 4-hour entry, it's going to be 1R to TP1. But when getting these scalp entries, it's usually closer to 2R or 3R. So this is fairly easy. It's a fairly easy way to get really, really good entries on swing trades, which is, in my opinion, that's the best types of trades and the best type of trading. It's when, and the reason I don't trade like this anymore is because I don't really have the time to monitor the lower time frames. So if I see a good level and an interesting setup to use, if I'm going to wait for that 15-minute break in market structure, it means that I actually have to be available at the very moment when that level breaks and the 15-minute candle closes. And it requires a lot of time. You need to be very active and at your desk all the time. And I would rather miss out on a lot of trades and make a little bit less profit, but I'll be able to choose what I do with my time. And I love the freedom of trading, where you can basically do whatever you want, right? It's being a swing trader, you can have a very relaxed approach to trading and spend your time, your free time, as you wish, really. So USD CAD started moving higher. We now have to move that fib up higher. I still think this is a valid entry. Yeah, that means the entry happens before it, and it has to be like that, because when it's confirmed on the 4-hour, it's already been confirmed a long time ago in the lower time frames. That's the idea of price action being fractal. So when you have a confirmation on the 4-hour, chances are that that's a break in market structure in the lower time frames long before there's a confirmation in the 4-hour. Now, of course, it could happen simultaneously, but very rarely does. All right, so we have gold, then silver. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to see if we can open a scalp trade. So for that, I have to log into my live account. I'm going to log in again. We're going to select live. And this is the scalping account. Maybe I should not show that. I don't know. Maybe it's private information. I don't know. Anyway, let's log into that one. So that's the scalping account. Now let's go to the scalping. I'm going to copy this one because that's actually the new settings. RLZ slingshot scalping. Is that the one? I think so. Okay. Right. So let's go through this list again. I don't think I have the, so I have to change. No, that's the right one. 70, 30. Remove that one. We're going to use ADX filter. That doesn't matter though. Okay. Let's see if we have anything interesting setting up here. GPAD, no. So I'm just going to go through this quickly to see if we actually do have anything interesting setting up here. That's a short, not interesting. ADCHF. Oh, wow, look at that. Damn. Yeah, man, that would have easily been a good-looking short signal. I would have taken that for sure. That would have been a winner. God damn it. USDJPY, no. So the goal here is to do something really stupid, okay? Something which I do not recommend anyone to do. Before I end this live stream, which will be ending in not too long, I will open up a position and I will go all in, my whole account, risk it all. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take one trade, like very small risk on one trade that I think like the best possible trade on the 1 hour. No, the 1 minute. No, the 5 minute. God damn it. Euro JPY. This looks good. Yep, that looks like a good short. No. Nope. Use the CAD. Well, I wish I saw this earlier. It's like a gold. I can't trade gold though. Or silver. Euro JPY, that's not going to be a trade. Or will it? Will it be a trade? Maybe, because we have a signal right there. And it's about to give us a signal on this candle as well. So we probably have a trade here. Now, what's Euro JPY looking like on the daily, bullish 4 hour range, 1 hour weird 5 minute possible trade? It's heading higher though. It's going all the way up here. So if this is going to be a trade, we have to go to like the 1 minute. Fuck, that's not looking very good. Well, let's put a level on here. If this level is comfortable with the 5 minutes, we might want to enter right there. And it pretty much is. All right, so the entry needs to be on that level. And I'm going to be buying here. I guess it means that... Okay. I need to accommodate the spreads here. So you might have to put it up here. So TP1, oh, that's not very good. TP1. So I probably have to trade this up to, well, actually there's, you know what, like probably trail the stop up to that one. So 2.22. Where's the stop loss going to be? It's going to be down here. So 2R trade with the trading stop loss. Right, let's enter orders for this one. How much are we going to risk? All right, I need to log into that one. And then, yeah, let's try this. I'm not sure. So the broker is already connected in another tab. This connection can interrupt other connections to this broker. Can it? I don't care. Let's see if that works. Create limit order. How much are we going to risk? Let's risk 0.5% on this trade. Fuck it. Let's risk 1%. Entry, buy, limit. Look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's already everything's just already entered. All right. That's the order. Buy limit right here. I think we can remove that one. So that's the trade. Now I want to see if it's actually, if it's getting copied to my live account. Yeah, it is. So it gets copied over to the live account right here, and that's on Oanda. So it's the same prices as the shorts. I don't really have to care about other exchanges and prices. So yeah, we basically this trade is quite simple, right? It's we have we had a signal here, and basically the idea would have been to enter on that retest, but I think now that we have a double bottom here, zoom in to kind of show it clearly, we have a W structure here in the double bottom, and that's a pretty clear level. So for price to actually fill this order, I believe we need to come down here, and that's also where we have the 20 EMA on the 4-hour, which makes sense. So as soon as price breaks above these highs, obviously this idea is invalidated, and we have to look for a new trade. I'm probably not going to take a new trade after that one, though. Let's see if we have anything interesting happening here. Right, so while we wait for that one, I'm going to put an alert here. Can I put an alert on? Let's put an alert on here. And let's move on. I got GBP, JPY, probably long signal here as well. Yep, that's a beautiful long signal. I would have probably entered that one right away. And if you look at the 1 minute, I think this could have been a really good fib level on the 1 minute. Going back to the 5 minute, that's a good hitting that level. Yeah, I mean, I would probably market order this one here, market bought this one, and then I would have been filled probably up here, stops below the reload zone, trailing stop. Yeah, I mean, 2.85, that's acceptable. We have this resistance area here, though, so I don't know about that. So GBP, JPY is moving higher, which means Euro JPY is probably breaking out as well. Not really. Good. Euro CAD, nothing here. GBP NCD, nothing here. All right, so here we might have a trade here where we could enter on somewhere inside this area. Probably something like that. And that would be a 2R to TP1, so that kind of makes sense. So that could give us a trade. So I'm going to put an alert right here. Right, next one is GBP CAD. GBP CAD also showing us a possible trade, and I like when the weekly open is close when scalping, because what we can do then is we can look, it's right above the reload zone. What we can do is, like, basically what I'm looking for is a move down here, So it's the exact same thing when scalping, just like when I'm swing trading. So we want to enter somewhere here, TP at in this case I would probably TP at the weekly open because it's just so close, and that's obviously a much more important level. And we can have the stop loss below the real loss, and that would be a 3.4 hour trade. We would move our stops to entry at TP1, and then you let it run. I have a one risk. This is one risk on this trade, so I could probably enter one more position or enter orders for one more position on for one risk. NZD-JPY, beautiful reaction right here. That is a really good looking level. What we might want to do now is we might want to go into the 1 hour. I mean the 1 minute, because it's hitting the right level here. So the 4 hours, the 5 minutes is closing in 4 minutes, and the 1 minute is absolutely perfect. Though the problem with scalping on the 1 minute is you'll see the spread right here. If I market enter here, I'm gonna get filled down here. That's a short signal on the 1 minute. It's gonna close very soon. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna wait for the 5 hour. I mean, why am I saying the wrong things all the time? The 5 minute. We're gonna wait for the 5 minute candle to close. And then we want to enter orders right here. TP1 is probably going to be here. It's a very tight stop loss though. How does that one look on the 5 minute? It kind of looks pretty bad. We might just have to, I think this makes more sense to have a stop loss like up here, and then you move stops to entry at TP1, and then move stops to entry at TP1, and then just leave the trade. But that's going to be the trade. Depending on how this 5 minute candle closes, I might actually just market enter here. Let's wait for that 1 minute candle. Yeah, that's a beautiful reaction in the 1 minute. I'm just going to market enter here. Market 1% risk. All right, market entering on that one. So I'm filled. That's our sell. As you can see right here. And that would be TP1. So we're getting ready to move our stops to entry if it kind of breaks down. And let's get back to Euro JPY. What's happening on Euro JPY? Will I have the margin available? I mean, it says that leverage here is 30 to 1, but if I go to ANDA, it's going to say 100. I don't think I have 100. I think I have 30 to 1, which means I'm pretty sure I'm not sure I have the margin to open both positions. Anyway, NCD JPY trade is open. I'm down. What? I'm gonna win 65. Like I gotta risk more. Like I have to risk closer to. I guess it depends on how many trades I take every day, but 65 USD is not a lot. So I probably have to risk at least 2%. I don't want to risk more than 2% because if I risk like 4 or 5%, I'm gonna have too deep drawdowns. Now let's see. This 5 minute candle is not closing the way I wanted it, so I might exit this one earlier. But that depends on the 1 minute, because we still have a pretty good rejection here on the 1 minute. Now, if the 1 minute just goes straight up like this, I mean, obviously we have to exit this one. Euro JPY is about to break out here, which means that NCD JPY will probably do the same thing. Yeah, that's not good. I'm gonna remove orders for Yeah, that's right. I'm going to remove orders for Euro JPY. Euro JPY limit, remove that one. Then we have the NCD JPY. Should we exit this one earlier? The 5-minute did not close. So the 5-minute did still close bearishly. So let's look at the 1-minute. If there's a proper like change in behavior, yeah, this is not looking very good. We're gonna wait for a couple of candle closes. It's just one tick above. Yeah, I'm out. All right, better safe than sorry. I mean, I'm rather I miss out on half an hour than lose one hour and trade like that. So let's see. Did I make any mistakes on this one? Yeah, I should have waited for the 5-minute candle close. I entered before the 5-minute candle close, and I should have waited for that one because if I saw this wick on the 5-minute, I probably should have waited. And also look at the 1-minute. Like I entered exactly on that local low, high low here as well. But there's like you looked at the Euro JPY and it's breaking out, and then NZD JPY had a bounce here. So yeah, it's small loss. Let's see, can we get in on something else? Do we have anything else that we might want to trade? So let's look at the 5-minute again, and then let's go through the list to see if we have anything that looks good. USD CAD coming down. It would be really cool to see a. Sometimes what I like doing is adding a alert here, so you can add the alert on what is it? Crossing lowest EMA should be EMA 1, right? Only once. So when it comes down, it should hit that 20 EMA, and when it hits that 20 EMA or crosses that 20 EMA, should you have an alert. And this is, alert system in trading is fantastic. It's fantastic when scalping because you just add alerts at the levels you want to possibly have an entry, and then you don't really have to worry about not getting, missing entries. But now the problem is these alerts will be universal or will be, on the whole TradingView app. So I'm going to get these alerts. And I might not be sure, like I might not know exactly if there are scalping alerts or swing trading alerts. I might have to start these scalping sessions earlier in the day, like in the morning. So I have, I didn't even plan this live stream, and I certainly did not plan to do a live scalping session. So what I have to do is I have to start these scalping sessions early in the day, so I can combine the swing trading, looking for setups on the swing trading system while also waiting for the alerts while scalping. And also tomorrow, I'm probably going to be working on setting up a system for myself, the same way I did with the 5-minute alerts. I'm going to set up that system, but I have to do it on a separate chart in TradingView, like this one here, but one for 5-minute. 5 minutes. So you can see right here, I have a lot of alerts on the 4-hour. My next step is to add alerts on the 1 hour, because some of the alerts on 1 hour is actually quite good. We had one member in the in the trading room took a really nice short on I think it's this one, NCD CHF on the 1 hour. And then if you go to NCD CHF on the 1 hour, you'll see that it's a beautiful short signal right here as well. So yeah, it's a beautiful trade. Is it that? No, it's this one. Yeah, I believe it's this one. But still, that's a pretty good short signal right there. So yeah, I mean, it works on the 1 hour as well. And I've gone through the the alerts on the 1 hour, and when I'm switching on the settings, you're going to see that a lot of the alerts disappear, and they're only going to show the strong alerts which are confluent with the reload zone. That's the alerts and actually you see there's quite a few alerts, and this was a strong and a strong alert on using the indicator. And look at that, it's beautiful. I hit that TP1 right now, so it's just absolutely picture perfect right here. And the average R of entry on the 50% fib is actually 3.9, which is really, really high. And as you can see right here, we have quite a few signals, and some of these are quite good. So when adding alerts on the 1 hour, we're going to get a shit ton of alerts. Some are going to be really bad, though I have to adjust the higher time frame EMA, but some of them are going to be really bad. But we're going to get a lot of signals on the 1 hour, and which will enable us to look at the 1 hour and say, like, is this a good trade or not? Check this out. Just an example here. That trade right here, long signal here, could have easily entered on the retest of the 50 right here, stops below that wick. Average R, I mean, not that high, but there's huge potential here. So that's what I'm going to do. I want to copy all the 4 hour signals and then switch them over to the 1 hour. And when I'm done with the 1 hour, and I'm gonna create scalping channels. So you'll see here in the in trading view, we have signals for the forex market and crypto market in 4 hour, and then I'm going to be adding 1 hour signals. And then we're going to be adding 2 more signals, which is basically going to be scalping signals. And I will make sure that we're not really going to be printing any signals on any of the pairs which has a too high spread. It's probably going to be this list where you have the Forex Majors Plus, which is 16 pairs. Where you see that the spread is definitely acceptable for scalping. And then you have to think about the time zones as well. I mean, spreads are usually lower in the London session and New York sessions, and the on certain pairs you have to make sure you check that as well. But the idea is not only to deliver signals in the Discord, but also to have a switch, like to be able to just go to the alert section here in TradingView, and I'll then write in like 5-minute scalping. And when I write in 5-minute scalping, I'm going to get all the 5-minute scalping signals up, and I can activate or delete them when getting alerts. Another thing I can do is when you have the channels in here, and this is really cool. This is like when we have the channel set up and you're a member of the trading room, what you can do is you can just right click and press mute channel, and then just press until I turn it back on. So if you have the scalping channels, for example, and you don't want to be scalping at this very moment, you right click that one and you mute that channel. And then when you want to scalp, when your scalping session starts, you add back the signals. Same thing maybe with the 1 hour, because you're getting a lot of signals in the 1 hour. So if you're not actively trading or you're not looking to trade in the next few hours, maybe disable the 1 hour signals. So that's what I'm planning on doing. And when I had all of that set up, I can have my swing trading approach on the 4 hour and just wait for alerts every 4 hours, and we're getting somewhere between 1 and 5 alerts every day. And then on the 1 hour, I can activate those channels when I'm a little bit more active and I have time throughout the day to trade the 1 hour setups. And then when I'm at my desk for, let's say, a 3 or 4 hour long session and I know I can be scalping and I'm available to be scalping, I can activate the 5-minute channels. So what you have is a complete alert system for swing traders, intraday traders, and scalpers alike. And I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be like a full suit for active traders. Right, so that's some of the plans I'm working on when it comes to the alerts of the indicator. In terms of scalping, I'm glad I exited that one early. And that's it for me today. I don't have anything more. Use DCHF. Good rejection here. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining. And I'm going to be doing more of these live streams centered around the RLZ trading and you guys in the community. I might be doing them public on YouTube or unlisted privately in the community, but it's we're going to be talking about the actual community, the updates that we have in the community, and the discussion we have in the community. I'm going to try to help you guys out as much as possible with the questions you have in the trading room as well. All right, let's end this here. See you guys next time. Take care.